Nope, I got nothing to start off the pre-podcast recording version. Yeah, I got nothing. I really want to play Smash Ultimate, but I can't because I don't have anything to make that possible.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to play Smash Bros. I just want to play the World of Light mode.
I don't have time to play the games that I do. Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out at the end of this month.
So yeah, it'll be like a whole family thing for you, though.
It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
But there's a small part of me that looks at the Switch and is like, Mario Odyssey, Breath of the freaking Wild. You know that I'm just like, it doesn't matter that I don't have time for it. It's almost just like they just look so good, man. And then all of Smash Brothers, I agree. World of Lights looks amazing, but the whole idea of the game, I've loved every Smash game since the very first one. I'm like, my favorite characters and probably fighting against each other. Awesome. So I'm there with you.
Yeah. All right, that should be long enough for the recording to have kicked in. So, obligatory Dirk sniffling, Mike going vrr, vrr. Brian, you want to do
my throat thing?
Yeah, I was gonna say you want to do that dad sound you make. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Hurt myself doing that.
Ow, jam! Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Mana Pool in 2019. Yay!
Huzzah!
Yay! Speaking for me personally, 2018, for me personally, was pretty alright. But for the world at large, was kind of dildos. So, let's hope we can make 2019 better for the world at large and for me personally.
I feel like we've been saying that for the last 3 years, though.
I was just about to say, should we just come to the understanding that every year is going to be complete BS from here on out and just learn to deal with it?
There was a Penny Arcade comic at the end of 2016, and Gabe is talking to a puppy, and he's like, puppy name whatever, you were born in a rough year, but they're not all like this, I promise, it'll get better soon. And then a hawk comes down and snatches the puppy and takes it away. And Gabe is just kind of watching. I don't think he says anything, but the thought is, of course. And that was 2016. And then we had 2017. And then we had 2018. So
wait, what's the next one?
2019.
Wait, does it just count up by one?
Yeah.
What's he doing? I don't understand. Is this a joke? I don't. Yes.
So, hi, I'm Chewy. I'm the lead dork. And with me, as always, are these other dorks. Hi, dorks.
Hi, I'm Brian, the lead rambler and tangent master of the group, and for once, I don't have anything to say because I just don't get it. Congratulations. You've done what was thought impossible.
Dude, I just knocked out my New Year's resolution on the freaking 3rd. Sick! Rest of the year is home free.
I'm Mike. I'm the rules guy and the game lore guy, and I forgot to start doing my New Year's resolution on the first day of the year, but I sort of did it yesterday, and maybe I don't know whether I'm going to be able to make it today, but we'll see. It had to do with going to bed at a decent time.
Ah, okay. I give you a week tops.
Yeah, that's about how long I lasted last year.
And I'm Dirk, the self-proclaimed greenest man alive and moral compass of the group. And I
should resolve to start interrupting Dirk instead of Mike. That's my resolution. Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
My New Year's resolution was to try and do better in terms of being more active and doing all that. So it's a work in progress. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm trying to improve. It was never to be like on day one, I will do this and never regress.
Yeah, my New Year's resolution, as it is every year, is to not make any damn New Year's resolutions because they're pointless and stupid. So all they do is lead to disappointment, really. Because you look back, you're like, all right, what did I resolve to do last year? Man, I didn't do any of that. I'm the worst. I know I'm not going to do any of that, so I don't even bother.
I don't really keep track, but sometimes it's good to have something to aspire to.
I aspire to greatness in general. But that's like an all-the-time thing, not really.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. So, hope everyone listening had a good New Year, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, winter solstice, whatever your deal is. I hope you enjoyed it. But your enjoyment is now done because we're back on the air. Wait, hang on, that didn't come out right. Oh well, it's out there now. So, apparently, Ravnica Allegiance preview season just kicked off when I wasn't looking. So we have a whole mess of preview cards. Yay! And I didn't finish fixing the damn Chrome window, so hang on. Was it that one, or was it this one? No, it was that one. Okay. Yay, we got Chrome window up. So, dorks.
Yes.
Should we just dive into these? Because we have a bunch that are here and a bunch that aren't here.
Sure.
Yeah,
So,
there's a bunch that aren't here.
Stark pointed out we need to start with the thing that we missed. Yeah, there's an addendum to last year's final episode.
Yeah, if you go up in the
in all fairness, JT pointed it out first.
Oh, did
there's a link up in the top of the Discord channel for the mechanics article, and it did update. So the mechanics article now has addendum.
Yay! I don't have that open, so I'll just stick to this card here. Sphinx's Insight is the card it showed us for addendum. For 2 a white and a blue, it's a common instant that says draw 2 cards. Instant speed card draw, sick! But it has the ability word, that's an ability word, addendum. If you cast the spell during your main phase, you gain 2 life. What?
So it's an itty bitty Sphinx's Revelation.
Very itty bitty, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also loaded with all that flavor! Look at the flavor text. Do not think me blind to your true mission or your true master, Grand Arbiter. And that's totally oh god, her name just fell off. What's her name?
Asperia.
There we go. That's totally Asperia.
I thought Asperia died in the last set.
Maybe
the last set isn't chronological.
Oh, it's happening at the same time?
Yeah, these two sets are just like a snapshot of the world, right?
Right.
It makes sense since, we're seeing all 10 guilds. And because the story articles for the last set were just snippets into the lives of the citizens. So, yeah. Well, and if you need even more flavor and foreshadowing, the other card they showed was Emergency Powers. And this is a kind of interesting card. It is a mythic. For 5 a white and a blue, it's an instant. Each player shuffles their hand and graveyard into their library, then draws 7 cards and exile Emergency Powers. So by itself, that's a what is that, Mike? From the Power 9,
Time Twister.
There we go.
Time Twister, right? It also has addendum. If you cast the spell during your main phase, you may put a permanent card with confirmed mana cost 7 or less from your hand onto the battlefield.
So there's on the flavor side of things, there's 2 big things. Who is that in the art standing there?
Looks
Dovin
like
Bond.
Yeah,
it looks like Dovin Bond, who I'm pretty sure is going to be the Grand Arbiter that Asperia was talking to.
Yeah.
And then
his card is in the image gallery.
It is
true, but we're still on last week.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
For those, I have not actually.
Spoilers.
I have not looked at any of the new preview cards since we started this year. But so then the
other thing is, who's he talking to?
It's not clear that he's necessarily communicating, but that is definitely a symbol of Bolus's horns right there.
Yup. And
So, yeah.
the whole flavor of the addendum side of things, if you cast a spell during your main phase, put a permanent card with converted mana cost 7 or less. Gee!
Who do we usually associate with 7?
Yeah,
exactly.
What's a permanent card that costs 7 that we've seen lately?
I have no idea. So
it's Snuggle Bolus.
So what do we think about addendum in general? I find it interesting that they get the. I realize this was a cycle, but I always think of it as the Might of Old Krosa ability.
Yeah, because that's the one that sees the most play in current formats. Being current formats, currently it's being played in Modern and even some in Legacy and Infect decks.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, I think I missed something.
Might of Old Krosa?
What is Might of Old Krosa?
Might of Old Krosa for a single green is what? +2/+2, but if you cast it during your main phase, it's +4/+4.
Oh, I did not follow where you were going with that. Okay, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And there's other cards that have that rider that have addendum before addendum was a thing. So. All right.
But how do we feel about that for Azorius? It seems very like rulesy.
It is.
It feels very in flavor for Azorius. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, it does. It's very, and it's a very interesting way to give the white-blue combination a different way to play. You can play the draw, go, play stuff at the end of your opponent's turn, or you can get
more value.
Yeah, you can get fabulous prizes by doing stuff during your own turn instead.
Right. Or half and half. Like one spell during your turn and have enough mana up to do something else later. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of these things where I feel like it's so dependent on the cards they're on. Now, of course, I mean, any of these abilities, Riot and Adapt and the others, you want to see them on better cards, but this especially, because it's so dependent on, because Addendum itself doesn't do anything. It's so reliant on what do you get out of it. So I think you will generally see cards that are good in either situation, but like Sphinx's Insight, I see more as either situation is probably fine, but emergency powers, the difference between the two, there will be situations where you want to play it at instant speed, but the potential for missing out on that second one seems really heavy. Like you have to have a very good reason to not play this during your turn and get that second.
Well, refill your hand and untap is a pretty strong incentive.
I mean, it can be, but again, I feel like the more power they load into the addendum, the stronger that effect is. The more you're going to be.
Yeah, the more you have to think
stronger.
about it.
Yeah, there you go. So.
Well, question for the second one, emergency powers.
Yeah.
If you play it with the addendum, does the card go down before you shuffle or after?
You resolve the card in the order that it's written. So
okay, so the addendum is essentially the addendum that you do the whole thing first, and then the addendum takes effect.
That's how I read it, Mike.
Yeah, you do everything in order.
So that's important because it allows you to draw the 7 cards and
then
see what you
take
and
what
then
you get,
put the
and then play something that is 7 or less.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is, go ahead and just make sure you read the whole card first, because it's possible that there might be, I don't think we've seen one yet. It's possible that there might be a card with an addendum ability that says, do such and such instead. If you cast it during your main phase, that means it's actually going to replace part of whatever was happening above. So just read the whole card and make sure you understand what it does.
But we'll have to get into that. So
yeah.
And I'm still in the mechanics article. I have not gotten into the
It's sort of
card
like
image gallery.
the Rixmati Reveler, which says do a
Yes.
thing, and if you played the spectacle cost, do a different thing instead. Is what
Yes.
Mike is saying. It's possible that there's something like that
Mhm.
with Addendum.
So if Addendum had been the very first thing, and then below Addendum it said each player shuffles their hand, and then the Addendum would take precedence first.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
if the two halves were switched, then yeah, you would drop a permanent with converted mana cost 7 or less, and then shuffle everything.
Then do the other part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, that was I had to read emergency powers again real quick because I was like, wait, when do you do that? It doesn't say.
Yeah.
So you do
Well,
it
that
in
was the
order.
part I
Okay.
wanted to make sure,
Yeah.
because I can see that potentially being abused at a pre-release and things of that sort. Is be like, I have this amazing card in my hand, I want to drop it, so I'm going to play emergency powers during my main phase. All right, I'm going to drop this, and then do all the,
Mhm. Yeah, no.
and then you just going, no, that's not what that card says.
Do you
That's
even-
kind of what that card says, but that's not exactly what that card says.
Do you even card text, bro?
Judge?
So that reminds me, we got to figure out where we're going for the pre-release, boys. But we'll do that later.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember whether that other place was going to be open yet. I don't think it will.
I don't think so.
I have not heard anything about it one way or the other. So
Oh well. Well, shall we hit some of these impressive cards that are here? Oh look, Dovin's name is actually Dovin Grand Arbiter. Duh.
So are we? We're just going over to the card image gallery now. So
Yeah.
I've kept myself as pure as possible. So
So how do you want to do this? I think we should do our usual thing of hitting like the big important cards first.
okay, like the mythics.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Well, what's the
So-
first mythic that we haven't covered?
Well, that would be Dovin Grand Arbiter.
All right.
So let's see. Hey, Mike. I read a card, and Brian read a card, and this is Dovin, which isn't terribly Dirk. So that Mike, that means you get stuck with him.
All right, that's fair. So Dovin, Grand Arbiter, costs 1 a white and a blue, so a 3-mana planeswalker that starts on 3 loyalty. Mythic, legendary planeswalker Dovin. All right. A +1 ability. Until end of turn, whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, put a loyalty counter on Dovin, Grand Arbiter. So that's neat.
That's interesting.
A leader for the Azorius Guild that has a creature-centric ability.
And that
Yeah.
says...
Combat-centric ability.
So wait, that means if you hit an opponent with 2 creatures, he just gets a loyalty counter, right? Or is it
No, he'll get 1 for each.
Okay.
It says whenever a creature you control.
creature?
If it says whenever 1 or more creatures you control,
Right.
then you would only get 1 regardless.
Right.
Okay.
But the way this is written, it triggers for each creature.
Funny thing, I'm reading this card literally for the first time, and I start to read this, and I get halfway through it. I'm like, oh, I know what this is going to say. This is going to say draw a card, and it doesn't. It says put a loyalty counter on them. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah. So the middle ability, -1, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. You gain 1 life. Nice and useful way for Dovin to protect himself.
And
also potentially
more-
a way of getting loyalty counters.
yeah, because it's
Yes.
an evasive creature.
Mhm.
Okay, and he gains you a life. Huh.
So -7, this is what you're charging up for, the last ability. Look at the top 10 cards of your library. Put 3 of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order.
That is a lot of card selects, and basically draw 3 cards, but draw 3 of the ones you want out of the top 10.
hmm
Wow. And it's interesting because for a limit break, this one doesn't necessarily win you the game on your own, although it gets you pretty darn close. But the fact that you can gain, I mean, you can activate his +1 with nothing on the board, and that's fine. It's just a +1 plus. It's just a +1.
Mhm.
But if you have 2 guys on the board, and let's say that you got an early start so they can't swing back or whatever, you activate it, he's already to 4, and then each one swings and hits. That puts him at 6 with 2 creatures. We're not talking about like hitting with 12. This -7 might be the kind where you're actually in a position to activate it more than once over the course of the game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
It might be something that you're able to do the turn after you play him under the right circumstances.
right,
Excuse me.
if you're just like playing when you got 5 or 6 things down, go ahead and plus him. Makes the combat math a little harder for them if they were willing to just take 1 or 2 damage from everything. And I like it. I like it. This is an interesting direction for them to take this in.
Yeah.
And I think it fits the character pretty well. If I remember an article from when he was released in Kaladesh, they struggled with what do we want a white-blue planeswalker to do? And they made white and blue abilities, but they didn't know if it really felt the character. For those that don't know, his whole shtick is he can innately sense imperfections. He can look around and detect problems with anything from a structure of a building to a device, which is why he was a judge for the what was the artifact competition on
The Inventors Fair.
The Inventors Fair, thank you. He was a judge there. To even like plans in flaws in a plan or anything like that. He just can detect imperfections.
Is he Karnak? Anybody get that one? Anybody?
What's that from?
Karnak is one of the oh crap. Oh no. in Marvel Comics with Black Bolt and the Inhumans. There we go.
Okay.
His ability is that he can immediately see a weakness.
I think it's kind of like that, except I don't know if it's quite that directed. Although it's weird, like so for all of Kaladesh, he's having to put up with Tezzeret, and he can tell that something is not right about Tezzeret, and yet he never goes, maybe I shouldn't be working with this guy. He's like, I don't know that Tezzeret's all that's cracked up to be. So it's weird. It's almost like they built up him to be like, he can tell what the problems are. He made several suggestions to Jace while he was visiting the Living Guild Pack quarters in Ravnica about how he can improve the building and operate better and things like that. And yet,
and Jace was lounging on a beanbag chair playing video games, going, "Whatever, man, don't care."
A little bit, and yet somehow on Kaladesh, while he's like in charge of this whole Inventors Fair, and he can tell that something is not right with Tezzeret and whatever Tezzeret is planning to do, he's like, this doesn't seem right. Oh, well, I'm sure it'll work out for the best. I'm like, what? I think it's just a story thing, but it's just not feel right.
I'm thinking that was because he didn't know the whole plan. Like, Tezzeret or Nicol Bolas hadn't explained it to him, so there was this big giant missing piece that he didn't have enough information to figure out exactly what was off.
And if he was already with Nicol Bolas, that makes a lot more sense. I came at it from the angle of he's native to Kaladesh, or at least that was my impression. Mm-hmm. And Tezzeret just shows up, and he knows a lot about artifacts. He has this Ethereum arm, and so we're just gonna bring him on board for this. If he's already in with Nicol Bolas, that makes a lot more sense. So.
Yeah, because Dovin is a planeswalker also, just like Tezzeret.
Well, that's how he went looking for the Guild Pact because he wanted them to basically act as security for the Inventors Fair. And they're like, that's not really what we do. We kind of stop Eldrazi.
Whoa.
Like, oh, oops. Oh, by the way.
Excuse me. I broke something.
Chandra, and he triggered Chandra while she was there. So that was he kind of got things in motion just by showing up. If he had never gone to them, they never would have gone to Kaladesh, which is yet more evidence that he was working with Nicol Bolas. Because Nicol Bolas pretty much indicated that he pulled a Loki from the Avengers and basically got them together in the first place. He has some need for a group of Planeswalker heroes to do something, and he kind of set in motion the events that would bring them together. So he may have said, hey, Dovin, I know where you can get some guys. Go here. Go here. Mm-hmm. And it just so happens that one of them is connected to your plane from her traumatic past. She'll totally not want to go and mess things up for you. Okay, well, that's enough speculation about that. But
so how about this car?
The card is really interesting. The fact that it can spit out guys at a minus, but still, if you're putting out guys, he's still padding your life total and giving you little flyers. And the fact that he could put himself down to 1, and then on the next turn plus himself and go up to like 4 or 5. And I'm not even talking about Magic Christmas Land, just with a couple guys. I'm feeling this guy's going to be really annoying. Is the word that comes to mind.
When you said giving you little flyers, I imagined Dovin Bond like standing outside of the C store handing out flyers. Him and my band's playing tonight.
No,
my God.
Wouldn't he be in the Blue Man Group?
Oh, see, now it's not funny anymore.
It was too easy. It was too easy and totally not racist. I mean, a little bit, but
That's not the point.
no, this guy is going to be very frustrating because now all of a sudden he's, he can, if you have any guys out at all, his loyalty can shoot up or at least grow very steadily, and he can make guys that can fly, and he's padding your life total. Regardless of that last ability, he's really good. And then if he gets off the last ability, if you don't find what you need in the top 10 cards and getting to keep 3 of them, then you weren't going to win anyway. I'm sorry. And the fact that, as with everything, you're going to play him, you're not getting to that 7 on your first turn. Even if you get up to 12 on the turn you play him, you're not activating until next turn, which means you have at least 3 more mana to play whatever it is you're taking out of those 10 cards. Yeah, he seems good. And for only 3 mana, he seems pretty darn good.
Yeah, but not busted.
No.
Right.
I think he's fair.
Yeah.
Highly aggravating, again, is the word that comes to mind. I just think somebody's going to play one against me at the pre-release. I'm going to be like,
Yeah, that last ability is more of a ha ha ha, this is awesome, rather than just looking at your opponent and just saying screw you, you lose. And
Exactly.
that's just better.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
we'll see shortly that they seem to be pushing more towards that than, hey, if this sticks around for 2 turns you win, planeswalkers. But we're not there yet.
No.
So Dirk, there's
Yes.
one mythic left.
Yep.
And it is so Dirk. Oh dear God.
The Hydroid Crassus is X green blue. It is a 0/0 mythic Jellyfish Hydra Beast.
Oh
That-
yeah.
Nice.
that is a
And the
tight
art
line
just
right
makes me
there.
go, I have no idea what I'm looking at. I see the Hydra heads, and
Yeah.
there's a thing on its back.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a
Maybe
big
attached
floating
to the back. I don't know.
Well, it's a jellyfish.
It's a big
so-
floating jellyfish body, but instead of the weird
the
jellyfish tentacles, it's got
heads
Hydra
of the
heads.
Hydra.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Isn't that great?
Makes my head
No, that sounds terrible.
Well, yeah, but I mean, isn't that great?
So
So
what it
shark
says-
bears are no longer the weirdest thing you can come up with. Is this gonna be like the arms race? Is next time we come back to Ravnica? Okay, what is the weirdest things we can stick together? We've done bear sharks and we've done jellyfish hydra beasts. What's it gonna be?
So something occurred to me with something someone said in the Discord server. Actually, what is the full name of the Simic?
The Simic Combine?
Yes,
Yeah.
Combine.
So
Oh.
they're the Simic Combine. So what do? They combine
Combine
things.
The flavor text is kind of nice too. It's Havoc is a small price to pay for data.
Oh yeah, we didn't even read what the card did. What's the card do?
So it says, when you cast this spell, you gain half X life and draw half X cards, rounded down each time. It has flying, trample, and Hydroid Crassus enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it.
So let's say I pay 6 for this, 4 for X and a green and a blue. And so it's gonna come in with 4 plus
You're
and
gonna
plus 1
come in-
counters.
Yeah, you're coming 4 counters, 2 life, and draw 2 cards.
Draw 2 cards. Hey, Dirk,
Mhm.
how many cards and how much life do I get if it's countered?
You get two life and 2 cards.
You are correct, sir.
'Cause
Yeah.
It says when you cast this spell, not when it enters the battlefield.
And
Correct.
that is awesome.
That's great.
Well, entering the battlefield, like resurrecting this wouldn't do much good because you gain 0 life, you draw 0 cards, and it would come in and it would die. So
Sick.
it's
All
it's
that
a
for
little-
just a green and a blue? Wait.
So it's a little cleaner to do it that way, I think. But yeah, it gives you the protection of, of hey, it's countered, but you still get the stuff. So
Yeah.
If I throw a +1/+1 counter on it,
Well, then it gets bigger.
that's or something.
But yeah, I mean, just in that little pay 6 total, draw 2 cards, gain 2 life, and get a 4/4 flying trampler. I mean, that's awesome for 6 mana, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I like it. But yeah, I like the card itself, but then you throw in the art and the type line and the flavor text, and this is a home run, man. This is brilliant. Although the art is disconcerting as all hell, which isn't it
Yeah.
great?
it almost looks like a brain.
Mm-hmm. A brain
Mhm.
with snake heads.
Well, like yeah. Are there any other mythics? Is that the only mythic?
So
Mhm.
those are the only
gallery.
ones that are in the card image
Card
gallery, but we have
image
several more from today.
Okay. Do we
So
want to finish going through the card image gallery first?
no.
Okay.
So, gentlemen, if you
Yeah.
will direct yourselves to the Manipool Discord server and go down to the
Uh-huh.
Manipool channel, you can scroll up for a little while until you see Gutter Bones. That's where she started. Violet was good enough to throw a bunch of cards that weren't in the card image gallery that came out today in there.
I'm looking for gutter bones.
Chimney Imp, that's not a card.
What? No. You're in the MTG channel. Go to the Manipool channel.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah.
Apple channel.
I don't see
My
gutter
my
bones.
co-host. So it'll be the top image. Like
Gutter
if you,
Bones,
if you
got it.
scroll up for a while and you run out of card images, then you go back down until you see Gutter Bones. It's the first one.
Okay.
Okay. Did you find it, Brian? You good? Are you in the Manipool channel?
It's in the content section.
It's in the content
Yeah,
section.
you see the channels with names
On Discord or on Twitch?
No, on
Discord.
Discord.
Discord. Okay, I've been invited to join a server of the Manipool.
Yeah, you're already in it.
Yes.
Not in our chat. Oh my God, Brian. Brian doesn't know
I'm-
how to actually Discord.
I am so bad at this game.
Okay, so way over on the left, you see where it
Yes.
says the Manipool. It's got the Manipool
Yes.
logo and it says TMP recording when you mouse over it.
Yes.
Right below
There you
that,
go.
do you see the Manipool?
Yes.
So that's the Manipool server. Now,
The
if you
bottom
go
one.
to
Yeah, okay.
the one that's hashtag the Manipool, that's the Manipool
Hashtag.
channel.
Thank you, Manipool. Okay, content. Okay. I'm learning stuff.
Yay!
Oh.
Content notification?
What?
Okay,
No.
so Violet Moon has put all these up.
Yes, because she's a sweetheart.
Nice.
Did someone tag Brian so he'll see it? Is that what that is?
No, I found it eventually.
Oh,
It
okay,
just-
good. Dirk, did you find it?
Is the top
No.
one? Is the top one Gutter Bones?
Yes.
That's a weird name. I have not seen any of these.
Well, these are all the ones that came out today. So yeah.
I'm gonna navigate away while Dirk is finding it because I want to read them literally like as we go along. But
Oh, hey, look.
so yes,
A wild loyalty appeared. Welcome at loyalty. Okay. Sorry, someone just joined the Discord server. Yay.
was that
Right.
Dirk?
No, Dirk's already in here. Dirk, did you find it yet?
No.
Okay.
So yeah. So the very, very, very left of your screen, where it has
in Discord.
Yeah. At the top, it has home, and then under that, it says for me 4 online, and it has the Mana TMP recording, followed by one that just says Mike's name that I can't pronounce, followed by the Mana Pool. And if you click on the Mana Pool, then it opens up a new screen, and you just slightly to the right of that, it says the Mana Pool at the top, and then you look down, and it's got general, followed by several hashtags, games, followed by several hashtags, and then content. And it should be the top of the content tags, and just click on that.
Oh, it's buried underneath everything. That's why.
There you go. And then
we have
once
lots
you're
of
in
channels.
there, scroll up until you
Okay,
get
got
to
it.
one called Gutter
Gutter
Bones.
Bones.
Yeah.
All right. So
Like
now
I
that
did.
we've
Like I'm looking at.
Man, I
going,
bet
there's
people
just
were
this.
really yelling at their phones then.
and you know what? I'm not cutting any of that. Tell you what I am gonna do is open a bunch of these in their own windows though, so I don't have to.
So should we just start from the top and work our way down?
Nah, we gotta hit the mythics.
Okay. You gotta make me look all over for these things.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so it's like the second card.
Okay. You may do that one.
Sure, you're a Simic guy.
Okay.
He
Prime
is a
Speaker. Venifar.
Vanifar?
Vanifar? Sure.
Vanifar,
Look at her type
bro.
line.
I remember that the Merfolk one is not the prime speaker anymore. So
Correct.
So for 2 green blue.
what
Say-
the hell? Oh, I'm sorry.
What?
I'm reading her type line. I'm like, wait, what? Okay.
So
And then I
for-
looked at the art again. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Shut up,
For
Brian.
2/4. For 2/4. It is a elf ooze wizard.
Yeah, that
That's mythic and legendary. It's a legendary creature. So the type or the the words jumped out of my mouth. So the text, what it says is, tap, sacrifice another creature, search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost equal to 1 plus the sacrificed creature's converted mana cost. Put that card onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery.
I'm pretty sure Survival of the Fittest is banned in most formats.
Yeah, well, Birthing Pod was too, which is a little
Yes.
more
Yes.
important.
Yeah.
So this is a 4-mana 2/4 Birthing Pod ooze elf wizard.
I'm reading this and I'm like, okay, I look at the art and I don't really get what's going on. And I'm like, elf ooze. No, what? What? And then I look at the art again. I'm like, what? 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 When I mentioned the whole jellyfish thing and we're going to create an arms race to see what's the weirdest thing, I didn't mean like later in the set. I meant like when we come back. Elf ooze wizard.
So, if you sacrifice a creature with 5 mana cost, you could put a 6 on the board.
Correct.
Correct.
Well, you
And
have
then you
to.
could sacrifice that and put a 7 on the board.
Yeah.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, you have to tap
She's-
her every time. So
She's Birthing Pod, except an elf ooze
and
wizard.
you have to do it at sorcery.
Wizard.
So there's no like, I blow up your guy. Oh yeah, well my guy's now a different guy.
Neener, neener.
That's cool and weird, and I don't know how I feel about this.
So yeah, this
I
is the
see it.
new Prime Speaker, the new head of the Simic combinatorial.
I
School.
I see entirely too many fan fictions with this girl in the future, and
Oh.
not me, because I don't go in for that kind of thing. But you come on, man, it's the internet, Rule 69 or whatever it is. So
Wait, what rule is that?
It's
I-
Rule 34.
34. There we go. I'm like 37. No, no.
That's the other rule.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Numbers.
So there you go. It's really cool. She's an elf ooze. That's the really. I mean, sure, it's a birthing pod on legs, whatever, but elf ooze wizard, man.
Okay, so
All
what's
right.
the next mythic?
I have no idea. I just opened a bunch of these in a row.
Looks like Rakdos.
Hey Mike, yeah, have you read
Yes.
Rakdos?
Is it? I haven't read it. Is it going to kill Mike?
I have read it today, but I haven't read it yet this episode. Rakdos the Showstopper. For 4, a black and a red. A 6/6 legendary demon with flying and trample. When Rakdos the Showstopper enters the battlefield, flip a coin for each creature that isn't a demon, devil, or imp. Destroy each creature whose coin comes up tails.
Oh, it is going to kill Mike. Yay.
I mean, not really. It's gonna,
Well-
as Stark pointed out on Twitter, it's gonna wipe Mike's board, which will then cause Mike to die. But it's not gonna directly kill Mike.
Close enough. Now, I love the fact that you could put this into a deck, either a brawl deck or a commander deck, and make it like all upside. I don't know that we've really seen a viable demon commander, so that could be really cool.
Rakdos Lord of Riots was pretty good, but you're talking about Demon Tribal.
Yeah, demon tribal. Sorry, Rakdos Lord of Riots is nice. As long as you have a way to reliably deal damage, he's amazing. Hey, because these are not carbon copies of each other, you could have both. And make this one cost less. What if this guy costs 2 less?
So
Entertain me.
Apparently, people on Twitter. Now, again, this is from Stark. People on Twitter were calling this guy Thanos, which he's not.
No.
Because Thanos is trying to wipe out 50% of everybody, not give everybody a 50-50 shot of survival. And then someone else in the Discord server, I forget who, said, so does that mean that Rakdos the Showstopper is Two-Face? And I was like, sold!
Yes.
He is Two-Face. Can we get Tommy Lee Jones on the phone?
No! But we can get Aaron Eckhart on the phone.
What about Billy Dean Williams? He wanted the spot.
He should have gotten it.
He should have gotten it.
Oh, Billy D. Williams.
I saw Solo, a Star Wars story, and I don't know why people hate on it. I think this is just a quick aside, but I think the only reason I could see maybe not loving it is because we've had so much Star Wars after waiting years and years for Star Wars movies. They're like, here's a bunch of Star Wars movies, but I thought it was perfectly entertaining. I didn't think it was the best of the films, but it was fun. Didn't take itself too seriously. So, yeah.
I zoned out reading chat. What are we talking about? Solo?
Solo.
Yeah.
Thought it was
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody I
should have
talked
just
to.
not come out, 6 months after the previous one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Okay. But anyway. All right.
So yeah, that's new Rakdos. He's pretty baller. It's good to know that he's still around too.
Yeah. He is not being subverted by
Bolus.
He's gonna outlive us all, is what's gonna happen.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Bolus is like, okay, look, check this out. What if you just gotta do what I say, and you can have all the power you want? And Rakdos goes, can you juggle? Bolus goes, what? He's like, get the hell out of my office.
It's like, I'm sorry, you said do what I say, and I just zoned out.
Yeah. Why aren't you juggling?
Rakdos
Can you
is
even
not really all about domination. I mean, at the end of the original Ravnica series, he got, giant sized. He kind of turned into like Bowser, Giga Bowser a little bit. But that was largely due to bad drugs and stuff. He was on a bad trip. He's more just about, everybody have fun. I'm going to have more fun than anybody else. So
I just love his flavor text. When he shows up, everybody has to like audition for him, and that's what the coin flip represents. But his flavor text is entertain me. I love it. I love it so much.
Stark Maximum says he always believed that Rakdos should have the same voice and mannerisms as Bowser from the Mario RPG.
Oh my god. Well, that's my headcanon now. Thanks, Stark. Oh, and apparently it was Andy Light Kai who came up with the Two-Face reference. Good job. Okay.
All right. Are there any other mythics?
Oh, yeah, there's plenty more. So we've got, if you scroll down, there's a dragon. Ooh, you know what? I'll read this one. The Skargan Hellkite. For 3 red is a 4/4 mythic dragon. So he's 4/4. He has Riot, which means, remember, he enters the battlefield with your choice of a +1/+1 counter or haste. So he's either a 5/5 or he's a 4/4 with haste. Got it? Got it. He has flying. And for 3 and a red, Skargan Hellkite deals 2 damage, divided as you choose among 1 or 2 targets. Activate this ability only if Skargan Hellkite has a +1/+1 counter on it. So the big-ass scary dragon is either a late-game beat stick that hits hard and fast, or it's a late-game board stall breaker that hits even harder but less fast.
This is literally perfect because you either play it for a 4/4 with haste for 5 mana, which is already good. What was the one with monstrosity from Theros?
Yeah.
Electric dragon thingy.
Yeah, there's also a 4/4 flyer, which did
Stormbreath dragon.
Stormbreath dragon. Does Stormbreath dragon have haste?
Yes.
Yes.
Stormbreath dragon rules. Yes, it
I'm
does.
sorry, electric dragon thingy is my let's see. Dragon Force cover band.
The sequel would be Electric Force Dragon, Electric Boogaloo.
So you either get a 4/4 with haste for 5 mana with flying, which is really, really good, or I would almost say more if it's earlier in the game and it's not going to win you the game right then and there. You just play it with the counter on it, and then you don't need. It becomes one of those standalone threats where you can just stop playing everything else in your hand and put it into the mana for its ability because it's a 5/5, probably bigger than most other things on the board at that point, and it's in the air, and it has repeatable damage, repeatable, redirectable, split-em-upable damage. And, it doesn't, notice the wording, it doesn't, obviously, this doesn't have monstrosity, so it doesn't say if it was rioted or not. So that +1/+1 counter can be from riot, or it can be from a spell that says, hey, put a +1/+1 counter on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, as Mike pointed out, I think it was Mike, somebody in the chat pointed out, yes, he's wearing a hat. He's got some sort of mastodon skull hat. And on Twitter, the full art was tweeted, like, dragons with hats. And I'm like, yes.
I like this guy a lot.
That's because he's freaking awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I realize that's like saying, hey, cake is yummy. But you know what? Cake is yummy. So there you go. I had an ice cream cake for my birthday, and ice cream cake is the ultimate evolution of cake and ice cream. It's almost like a vampire dragon, but not quite that great.
Not quite.
So,
this is close second, though.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to read one that I have not read. It looks like the one beneath this is mythic. Is that Ravager Worm?
Yes.
Ravager Worm. Costs 3 of red and 2 green. So 6 for a 4/5 worm. Its stats, usually worms are like 6/6, but it's mythic. It has riot. Okay, well, there you go. So it can be a 4/5 with haste or a 5/6 with no haste. When it enters the battlefield, choose up to 1. Up to 1. So you don't have to do either. It fights target creature you don't control, or destroy target land with an activated ability that isn't a mana ability.
Yeah.
What lands do we have right now that would even apply to? I mean, there's the memorials. I don't know that's that strong and limited because you just basically got the guild gates, but But I guess so. This is
like
so
search for Ascanta is the main offender in my mind.
Oh, those lands. Those
lands. On the other side.
All of the flip lands. Search for Ascanta, or I guess the Cradle thing wouldn't be because that's a mana ability. But that one, I have not been paying attention. Is it tearing up the world? So I would think the search is much more frustrating. But so this is why. So basically, if you play it on an empty board, you don't have to be like, oh, I guess I got to blow up my land here. So, yeah. Although I think most of the time this is always good because you can always just be like, hey, look, I eat that thing. And because it's got Riot, you can make it as big as it needs to be. I mean, like, with not as big as it needs to be, but you have the choice of saying, hey, look, there's a. Oh, and it has an extra point of toughness. Oh, so squares, static creature, like vanilla creatures that have the same power and toughness, this will eat them even if it's got power equal to kill them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm rambling a little bit, but you know,
No.
So, but you know, opponent has a 4/4 out, and you're like, okay, play this as a 4/5 with haste. It eats your guy and smacks you for 5 right now. And they're like, wait, what? I lost a guy and I'm taking 4. What? Or they're like, well, haha, I have a 5/5. And you're like, great, I have a 5/6 that still eats your guy. Go. Wow, this seems. It's not busted. It costs 6, and 2 of it's green, so it's not busted, but it's really, really good. I like it. And you know, worms. We need more worms. I'm gonna say, you know, we need more worms. So
I have worms. I mean nothing. And yes, and then Justin, that is a scale griffin.
this doesn't. I'm looking at the chat. This doesn't do anything against Tron because
Correct,
that's a mana
yeah.
ability. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah,
as was
the
pointed
lands
out-
have mana abilities and static abilities. They don't have any other.
But it does shut down Thespian stage or whatever.
Yes.
it's called.
It also eats dark depths, which I find hilarious.
Yes, it can eat dark depths.
Nom nom.
Tastes very
Evil?
20. Yeah. Cool. I like it.
All right.
what's-
Dirk,
we
anything
gotta-
to add about the Ravager Worm?
I think it's funny. I think the thing in talking about they could eat dark depths, that's very funny.
And it's delicious.
They can totally eat a tabernacle too. So
Hey.
No.
no.
Tabernacle doesn't have any activated abilities.
What's the one that bounces legendary creatures?
Oh, that's
Caracas?
Caracas, yeah.
Okay, I don't. It's
Yeah,
No,
wrong
it's
land in Legacy that you never
old.
play.
Okay.
Nerd.
All right, what do we got next?
Well, here's another Mike card.
Mm-hmm.
It's another demon, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Finally
You're
one that
typecast.
finally one that deals damage to me. All right.
Okay, good.
Spawn of Mayhem. 2 black. It's a 4/4 demon with flying and trample. So 4 mana for 4/4 flying and trample.
Sold.
Awesome.
But hey,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
what if it was cheaper?
That would be awesome. It has
okay.
Spectacle, 1 black. So that means it only costs 3 if one of your opponents has lost life this turn.
That feels really good.
Yeah. And here's the best part. At the beginning of your upkeep, Spawn of Mayhem deals 1 damage to each player. Then, if you have 10 or less life, put a +1/+1 counter on Spawn of Mayhem.
This feels ridiculous. This feels insane. If you have a 2-drop in limited and you can connect, then you're like, oh, here's a 4/4 in the air that also might as well be a 5/5 because it already hits you for 1 every turn. With
Yeah.
trample? What?
Yes.
This is
Flying and
this is
trample.
insane.
Flample.
Like I was just saying that, oh look, you know, this dragon is a 4/4 with flying on turn 5. That's pretty good, especially if it has haste. And this thing's like turn 5, nah, man. Been down for 2 turns already. I mean, even at 4, don't get me wrong, even at 4 mana, that's at 4 mana for a 4/4 with flying and trample is very good. At 3, this is insane. This is crazy. I'm gonna go into a corner now and just mutter to myself. This is insane. What were they thinking?
Smash cut to
The
Brian.
end of
fully
Magic.
clothed.
I don't, you know.
Smash cut to Brian fully clothed with the shower on, sitting in the bathtub just rocking.
Now I'm rocking. You can't tell probably unless you can hear my voice get a little louder, a little slower.
And actually, we can. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he only gets the +1/+1 counter once, right?
Well, if you have 10 or less life when he damages you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But
like
I mean, it's every upkeep
not,
too.
It's not like Riot where it's just one time. It's literally the beginning of your upkeep, deal damage to everybody. Then check, do you, the controller of it, have 10 or less life? Yes. Okay, put a +1/+1 counter on, which means probably unless you're playing with some life gain, probably triggering it again next turn. And at that point, you've got a 5/5 with flying and trample, and you yourself are at 10 or less.
Who is getting bigger every turn? If you assume you're not gaining life.
I can't imagine that you're needing to swing with it more than once or twice more in solo.
Yeah, also, as Ninjustin and Nerd Soda pointed out, it also turns on your spectacle every turn.
Yes.
For any other spectacle dudes you might have.
Like another one of these, because
yeah, because why not, right?
Holy crap, dude.
Yeah, I like this guy.
Yeah, well, that would be the reason why he's mythic, is because of all the synergy.
And because he's stupidly undercosted and powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Plus,
this is actually
he's almost got a predator face, so that gets him +1 rarity right there.
This is actually a lot stronger than it would have been, say, if he was a base 5/5 for 5 with a spectacle of 4. That still would have been crazy, but I feel like playing this creature on turn 3, it's the turn 3. It's the fact that it's so early that's just, and it's in black, or especially in black and red, it's entirely feasible you are dealing damage at that point on turn 3. Whew.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm spent.
Stark just pointed out, I'm shocked now that I think about it, that when you're at 10 or less life, do X hasn't been the Rakdos mechanic for 3 sets, right? Like, now that it's in front of me, that is so obvious and so very Rakdos-y.
That's very reminiscent of the Zendikar Vampires bloodied mechanic.
Yeah, that depended more on opponents, though. This makes me think about what was it?
Got me, man.
Fateful Hour. What the heck was that called in Dark Ascension?
Fateful Hour was what it was called, but I don't remember what it did.
It did extra stuff if you were at 5 or less life.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so it was kind of and it appeared in the human aligned. It appeared on human aligned cards and was kind of like them with their backs against the wall, pulling miracles out of nowhere.
I can picture.
But here,
that, yeah.
I do like the feel of it, of something like that being, just playing close to the edge on purpose the whole time.
Yeah.
For the thrill of it.
It is very thrilling. Like, how many games have you guys been like, and I was at 1 when I won? Like, I was dead next turn. That's very, like, well, not to steal the keyword, but it's very spectacular and very thrilling and very, like, edge of the seat excitement when you win when you're at low life.
Mm-hmm.
So that feels extremely Rakdos-y in this set.
Yes.
Nice. Good point, Stark. Thank you. This is why we do this live, you guys. Platinum Empyrean is buddies with Spawn of Mayhem. That is true, Derptech Go. Because Platinum Empyrean, once you hit 10 life, you just drop your Platinum Empyrean, and Spawn of Mayhem goes whoop, 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 forever and ever. Amen. Did you like my Mario crowing sound?
Yes.
All right. Do we have any other... Well, yeah, we do. The very next card. Let's see. Who's up? Hey, Dirk, you want to read about an angel?
It's like the very next card is the last one of the mythics.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay.
All right, Seraph of the Scales for 2 white-black. It's a 4/3 angel that's mythic with flying. For white, Seraph of the Scales gains vigilance until end of turn. For black, Seraph of Scale gains death touch until end of turn and has afterlife of 2. When this creature dies, create 2 1/1 white-black spirit creature tokens with flying.
This is pretty good.
That's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 4/3 flying for 4.
Check.
An activated vigilance, activated death touch, and
Mm-hmm.
when it dies, you get 2. Yeah, this is good. This isn't like Spawn of Mayhem good in my mind, but
No,
it's still
this is
really good.
this is more in long game. Like exactly how are you going to answer it? Like Spawn of Mayhem, I see again. I know you're not always going to draw it for turn 3, but is more of like oh god, it's so early I can't handle it. Oh my god, the game's over already. This is a persistent threat that also comes down early, but in the long run represents so much value because it's a 4/3, and I'm sure you're going to start using the vigilance right away so it can attack and block. And if it trades early on, it's trading with something decent size because it's got 4 power.
Mm-hmm.
And then later in the game, it could be trading with something much bigger because of the death touch. And it's always going to spawn 2 extra guys to help you finish the game out. So, yeah. Seems good.
It definitely seems good.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else to say about it, actually. It's good. Value Town.
Yeah. Seraph of the Scales. Get it? Like dragons? No, stupid. Like balance, but not the card balance. Dear God, no.
So, all right. That looks like it's all the mythics. Do we want to head back up to the top then?
That can't be all the mythics.
Yep, that's all the ones I saw on this list.
I mean, that was what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mythics. So
Excuse me. Teysa's rare. My bad. Hey, let's talk about Teysa.
Okay. Where is she on the list?
I don't know. She's up higher.
She's Teysa Karlov. Last time we saw her in the story, she was actually being arrested. So this is going to be interesting. For 2, a white and a black, she's a 2/4 human advisor, not an ooze. That's going to be the thing now. Is it an ooze or not? If a creature dying causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time.
By the way, trigger warning. The word trigger happens too many times.
Creature tokens you control have vigilance and lifelink? What?
Yes.
That's cool.
What? That's stupid. I mean, her first ability says, hey, you know how you got afterlife? Now everything has afterlife X and then afterlife X again. So the Seraph we were talking about with Afterlife of 2 has 2 instances of Afterlife 2, right? Right? Because that's a creature dying causing a triggered ability of a permanent you control.
Yeah, it says when this creature dies. Correct.
Yeah. And obviously this applies to I'd have to go into Gather or something or pull up an old binder because stuff dying triggers stuff on permanents all the time. That's like a main ability. So I love how broad that is. But just in the set, okay, if you basically it's like if you get a token from Afterlife, you get 2 of those tokens instead, basically.
And they have vigilance and lifelink.
And they have vigilance and lifelink. Oh, you thought you were gonna win this game. Well, I may not win right away, but this is gonna be a hella painful for you because I have flying vigilant life linking spirit. What?
Yeah.
So many of these cards to me. I mean, I'm not saying this is a broken set. I feel like I'm always like, hey, these new cards are neat. But some of these to me just feel like they're pushing it. Wow.
Now, Brian, I know you haven't been looking at the cards.
Right.
So, do me a favor. Go back to the card image gallery.
Okay.
And read Judith the Scourge Diva. She's multicolored.
Okay.
Just go right ahead and
Judith the Scourge Diva.
Try not to poop.
For 1 and a black and a red, she's a human shaman, legendary. So okay, so she's like the leader of the Rakdos, other than Rakdos or something. 2/2, so 2/2 for 3. Other creatures you control get +1/+0. Well, that's annoying. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, Judith the Scourge Diva deals 1 damage to target.
Hmm.
Whenever any non-token creature you control dies.
So if you're playing Mardu and
playing...
Judith and Teysa hook up and start hanging out, then everything is terrible for your opponents.
Everything is awesomely terrible. Let's say you have the little 1/1 that when it dies, it poops out a spirit, right? From the previous Ravnica set. Well, Teysa says you get 2 spirits, or these, I guess they're soldiers. You get 2 soldiers. They had lifelink already, but whatever. Now they have vigilance as well. And because the creature died and it was not a token, Judith gets to throw a damage on something. And that's just from a dinky little 1/1.
But because Teysa's out, Judith actually gets to throw 2 damage out.
She does. Because it's a triggered ability. Oh, man. I'm going to have to find something a little older than that I think would be stupid with that ability. Because that Teysa's ability is just so wide open. There's got to be so many things that would work with. There's got to be.
Oh, yeah, there's all kinds of stuff.
I'm sure. And I could be looking at it forever because stuff dying again is just...
Yeah, Cranberries is a terrible person, as already mentioned Grave Pact. So, yeah. Since you were all caught up on Teysa, I wanted you to read Judith, too, to go with it, because they're like besties.
If only they were in the same faction.
I mean, they're in the same wedge.
Mm.
They're Mardu. It's fine. They share one color. It'll work.
Yeah,
I mean, you have to... they have to...
Look at all these guild gates. Simple.
Yeah, see? Yeah. And then, McGimp. Hey, McGimp, how you doing? Mentioned Blood Artist, which was, of course, the first place my brain went when I read Teysa. Nerd Soda said Kakusho and Yosei. That is the appropriate response. Yeah.
Oh, God.
So yeah, it's all good. I love it. All right, so there was a link. Here we go. In the chat, if you guys will scroll up, it's a Twitter link. Thank you, JT. For the other mythic that for some reason isn't in the card image gallery, even though it was revealed yesterday.
All of the Singular Vampire triggers.
Ooh, nice.
Sorry, keep going. But I'm not done looking. Just FYI, you got me on a hot streak now. But I saw the bear, and I'm like, oh, all of them.
So, seriously though, Brian, scroll up in the Twitch chat.
Sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. What am I doing now?
Scroll up to the Twitch chat and click on the Twitter link.
Twitch chat.
And I think this is a Mike card. Hey, Mike, could you read Kaya for us?
Okay, sure. Kaya, Orzhov Usurper. So, for 1, a white and a black. It's a 3-mana planeswalker, starts on 3 loyalty, legendary planeswalker, Kaya. +1. Exile up to 2 target cards from a single graveyard. You gain 2 life if at least 1 creature card was exiled this way. Oh, thank you. -1.
Mike is so polite to his planeswalkers.
Yes. -1. Exile target non-land permanent with converted mana cost 1 or less. It's going to be more useful than you think.
Oh, it's going to be insanely useful.
And the last ability, -5. Kaya, Orzhov Usurper, deals damage to target player equal to the number of cards that player owns in exile.
Oh my
and
god.
you gain that much life.
Oh, that's going to count things that are in exile with, like, Conclave Tribunal and Oblivion Ring type effects.
Yes, it does.
Some of the discard effects that are in black now will have you exile the cards instead of just throwing them in the bin. Stuff goes to exile. if you go into think about what Chewy said about the cross guild synergies, Assassin's Trophy, does that that destroys, doesn't it? But there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that exiles, and stuff that is exiled temporarily, like with those, exile something while this is in play. Well, it's still exile. So, and that seems to be something that white and black do very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
And not to mention the fact that both of her abilities push this on their own. And the fact that she's already, wow. I just keep saying wow, but they've pushed some of these low-cost planeswalkers like her, Dovin Bond. We haven't seen the green-red one yet, or have we? I mean, I know
to my knowledge, we haven't seen Dom.
Not yet. Not that I'm aware of.
But damn.
Yeah, what I like about this is that she's a sideboard planeswalker. Like she's very niche, but she's powerful in that niche. But she's very niche. She's not like, oh my god, you got to put her in every deck that has black and white. Because no, you really don't.
So what does this say about the state of the Orzhov? Because Orzhov have been governed by that governing group of ghosts, the GGG, for a long time.
Oh my god.
And Tessa was actually trying to work. She was going to Jason, having him sign all these extra laws that should have ultimately allowed her to replace the ghosts. But then the ghosts found out what she was up to and basically had her arrested. And that's where we left her. And now we have Kaya here. And Kaya's whole thing is assassinating ghosts. That's her whole thing from the story that we know so far. So,
and plus, her title is Orzhov Usurper.
And look at the art. Look at the people that are behind her. And how many of them look happy to see her?
Maybe the one with the helmet on that we can't see the face.
Maybe, but it's pretty clear that she wasn't brought in by popular vote, so I'm wondering if she worked with Tessa somehow. I don't know. I want to know more of the story, man. Come on, bring us up to speed.
Well, I mean, we know that she's working for Bolus.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
So I don't know if that means she would be working with Tessa or against her, because I don't know enough about Tessa's deal.
If Bolus wanted to replace the ghosts, what's their name? The
Ghost
Obsidat?
Council. The Obsidat, yeah.
If he wanted to, he could. Then it would have been an easy way to just say, "Hey, we want them gone. You want them gone. Let's work together a little bit." So
she appears and goes, "The Ghost Council, the Obsidat are dead," and everyone goes, "Yeah." She's like, "What? No, I mean they're dead.
Dead
like,
again."
Yeah, we know they have been for a long. No.
They're exiled. Oh no!
Because she killed the Ghost King guy in the conspiracy set too, the Ghost King that had been ruling forever. Hence, leading to the empty throne, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Because they did that silly thing with the name where it was going to be named one thing and then another thing and then another thing. Or whatever. So.
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. Someone pointed out Tessa has flavor text. Do they?
Yes.
Oh. While Kaya is Guildmaster, Tessa waits patiently at the center of the Orzhov Web of Power.
Oh, well, there you go.
Oh, okay.
So obviously she's not,
Thank you, Ninja.
being detained anymore. So. All right.
Neat.
We'll have to wait for the stories.
All right then. So we have a lot of cards.
I also realized while we're on flavor, I realized that Lavinia, Azorius Renegade, we covered this last time, but she has flavor text. I don't think we looked at the promo art for her. I don't think we actually saw this flavor text, but it sums up Jace as the Living Guild Pact perfectly. I told Jace that Ravnica would fall apart if he didn't take his responsibilities seriously. I didn't want to be right. Jace, you had one job.
Literally one job.
Maybe this was the angle that creative was going for the whole time. Was, you know, he's going to get the position. It'll bring a temporary peace, but it will ultimately help destabilize things. And I get that, but from up until now, it's just felt very like, why would this ever happen? He's like the last guy you would want doing this. Literally. The whole point with planeswalkers, most of them, is that they come and go. And this feels like a full-time sit down and don't leave position. So he hasn't been back there in years. He's been brainwashed and stuff the whole time. So anyway. We got more to look at, right? Are we still looking at Discord? Are we back in the card image gallery? My brain can't take all
let's jump back to the card image gallery because we've got a lot of cards.
Okay.
So let's just jump to the top. We've got mass manipulation.
What's that do? It's a lot of blue, so.
XX and 4 blue. Let me say that again. XX and 4 blue. It's a rare sorcery. It says gain control of X target creatures and or planeswalkers.
Well, no wonder it costs so much.
Oh, whoops.
6 mana to take one thing. 8, 2, 10 for 3. But if you're spending 10 to take 3 things, you're probably winning the game. Because you're taking their 3 best things.
Seems good.
Seems good.
I mean, there's really nothing to say about it other than late game, give me all of your stuff. Yeah, okay.
Give me your stuff, yeah. Yet another tool for infinite mana to take over Commander. Because Memnarch is fun.
Although this is another thing to do with infinite mana.
Yeah.
All right.
At least it can't take literally everything.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what Memnarch's for.
Exactly. All right. Then we have a new Sphinx, which and JT's in here, so I know he's excited.
The Sphinx of Foresight.
Yeah. How many sight?
3. But he costs 4. Is that on purpose? 4. The Sphinx of Foresight costs 2 and 2 blue and is a 4/4. Is there a 4 anywhere in his text box? Because if there's 3 of these 4s, I'm gonna be upset. I don't see one just scanning down it.
If you add 3 and 1 together, you get 4.
Yeah.
Oh. Sphinx, it's rare. You may wait, what? You may reveal this card. You may reveal this card from your opening hand. It's not a Praetor. Those things from
Chancellors.
It's like a Chancellor. If you do Scry 3 at the beginning of your first upkeep, flying, and at the beginning of your upkeep, Scry 1. It's like a better Chancellor because the Chancellors were stupid expensive. Okay. All right. Wait. So this is a 4/4 with flying for 4 with no downside. And if it's in your opening hand, you get a free scry, not 1, not 2, but 3 at the beginning of your first upkeep. And once you play it, you get to scry every turn.
Before you draw.
Power creep?
Really cool.
What? This feels like an auto include in multiple formats. Am I wrong? I mean, that first ability just feels ridiculous. Even if you never get up to 4 mana in Legacy, would you not just run some of these to have the free scry, possibly?
Probably not in Legacy now.
No? Okay. All right. Well, I don't know the format too well, but I see the word free or the concept of free, and I'm like, my eye twitches a little bit, especially with blue cards. I don't know why. This just seems really good.
But then you pitch it to Force of Will. It's the perfect Legacy card.
I don't want to be that guy that's going like, "Whoa, everything's insane," but this feels kind of silly. This whole set.
This is really powerful in Standard, and it's probably pretty good in something like Commander, but I don't think this will be anywhere else.
No, in Modern and Legacy, the stuff you play, especially at 4 mana and up, it needs to have an immediate positive impact, where it needs to have some way to protect itself while you wait for it to have its impact next turn.
Yeah. All right.
This doesn't do that.
Okay. So real quick, from Ice Age, Mike might know this card. I don't know that anybody else would. Mike, do you know a card from Ice Age, an enchantment called Earthlink?
Yeah.
Yes.
At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice Earthlink unless you pay 2. Whenever a creature dies, and this is an enchantment, that creature's controller sacrifices a land.
Yeah.
Tessa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're still on. I was like, what is that?
I'm gonna be on Tessa all night long, man.
Oh, baby, don't tell Carrie.
I'll keep coming back to it. So
anyway,
Fecundity seems really easy.
all right. So that's a Sphinx. How about okay?
Is that it until the gold cards?
Yeah, that's it until the gold cards. Hey, look, Absorb is back.
Nice.
They showed this Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just a quick recap: white, blue, blue, rare instant, counter target spell, you gain 3 life. It's kind of a big deal. Not like a huge deal, but it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. We've seen Aeromunculus and the Bedevil.
Oh, hey Dirk.
Yep.
Here's a card that's very you.
Biomancer's Familiar.
That's the one.
What
For
is that
green
thing?
and blue, it is a rare 2/2 mutant. It says, activated abilities of creatures you control cost 2 less to activate. This effect cannot reduce the amount of mana an ability costs to activate to less than 1 mana.
So thinking mostly of Adapt, but could be any number of things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a training ground, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, it's a training ground with a limiter on it.
Yeah.
So, but
Training ground had that limiter too.
Oh, it did?
Yes.
What am I thinking of?
I don't know.
Okay, anyway, keep going, Dirk.
So the Aeromunculus above, it would reduce its activated ability down to green-blue.
Yes.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. But for something whose activated ability costs 2, it would only drop it down to
Reduce
1.
it down to 1.
Yeah.
Right. And it won't
So it's
reduce
sort of like
colored
a-
mana costs.
Was
Correct.
it Mana Stone? What was the thing in the Sliver decks?
Heartstone.
Heartstone, yeah.
Heartstone. Did that have that rider on it?
It does.
Yeah.
Okay, so never mind.
So, and then it says tap. The next time target creature adapts this turn, it adapts as though it had no +1/+1 counters on it.
Which means you will actually get to put +1/+1 counters on it, even if it already has some.
Yeah,
Mhm.
as a reminder, adapt is a cost and then adapt and a number. And it says if this creature has no +1/+1 counters on it, put a +1/+1 counter on it for the Aeromunculus, for example.
So just so we're perfectly clear, you can always pay an adapt cost regardless of whether or not it has +1/+1 counters on it. It just won't do anything. If
Yes.
Looks like it, yeah.
yeah. And then this basically says, hey, even if it's got counters on it, it adapts, which means it gets more +1/+1 counters. And if it has an ability that says when you adapt this creature, it fights something or draw a card or whatever, that'll trigger as well.
Yeah.
If there was something like that that said adapt.
Yeah, which we'll have to see.
I like how the Biomancer's Familiar is just mutant.
It's
Not
it's
like-
not even
Not like
Not-
mutant fish crab frog. Just mutant.
or
Mutant.
homunculus. It's just mutant.
Yeah. They just messed it up so bad it isn't anything anymore.
It isn't anything anymore, and the art is
It
kind of
just
freaking
doesn't.
me out a little
Someone
bit.
looks at it and goes, "Well, where would you classify?" And they're like, "I don't know."
I don't know.
We have
Well,
run
we'll
out
just
of
put in
things to call
It's
it.
got a
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
beefy arm coming out of the back of his neck there.
Look at all that majesty. Yeah, the Simic guy is like, all right, we've got one homunculus mutant. We've got one fish. What did you say? Fish.
I
Jellyfish.
think I said
Fish crab.
fish crab.
Fish
I
crab.
don't know what I said.
Yeah, something mutant. Check. And he looks at this guy and he goes, one mutant.
Moves to the next one. Jellyfish Hydra Beast.
Yeah, exactly.
I like how with that we could actually literally break it down to Hydra, Jellyfish, Beast, but we can't even get Beast on this guy, and Beast is like the biggest catch-all of all. We're not even there anymore.
Yeah, I mean this could, mutant beast horror. No, we can't even get that general.
It looks the closest I can come up with is a homunculus, and we're not even there anymore. We're just gone. We're just gone, man.
Maybe that's why he's off pedaling in the art, or giving away. I don't know what he's doing.
Oh,
I'm
someone in
pretty
the
sure
chat
it
just
does.
said it kind of looks like a thrall. I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
he is
definitely-
kinda
looks
throwing.
like it's bred for this.
Yeah, it might not even be that they messed something up so bad that they got this. It might be, what do we need? We just need something with 4 arms that can hand us stuff. Hey, give me a minute.
Just put some forearms juice in this vat here. See what pops out.
With what? Nothing. Just
I don't know,
just
Just
give me.
throw it in there. Whip something out real quick. Okay.
So the test notes say, we started with DNA from arms and a and this is what we got.
Yeah, whatever's there has been smudged, and someone goes, "Ah, man, I can't read this."
There you go. I'm looking at the test tube and somebody poured it in. I'm kind of picturing like Kronk from The Emperor's New Groove, and he's just like, "What do you put in?" And he's like, I don't know."
Arms? Yes, what kind of arms? 4
More
of them?
arms.
All right, let's keep going.
Okay.
We've got the deputy of detention. He's good, but he's nice and simple. 1, a white and a blue for a 1/3 Vidalcan wizard who is rare. When he enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls, and all other non-land permanents that player controls with the same name as that permanent, until deputy of detention leaves the battlefield.
Didn't this used to be an artifact or an enchantment?
An
or
enchantment.
something?
Yeah, it was detention
Detention
something
sphere.
sphere. There we go.
Oh, so he's the deputy of detention. He's holding a sphere.
Yeah, nice and simple.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Next. I mean, it's powerful, especially against tokens.
Yeah, super good, super powerful. It's a detention sphere on legs. Sick.
Yeah. What do we got? We got Gruul's Spellbreaker Looks like
Yes.
for 1 and a red and a green. It's a 3/3 Ogre Warrior. It is rare. It has Riot.
Didn't we do this last week? Maybe
I
not.
think so.
I think so. Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So, all right.
Judith, Lavinia, Mortify, Rafter Demon.
Did we talk about Simic Ascendancy last time?
I think.
Yeah, we did.
yeah.
We did. Yeah. Then I think we talked about all these.
Okay, so we have more lockets for each guild, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the guild gates, the 2 arts, the front door and the back door for each guild, and of course the shock lands. Yup. Nice and simple. And the art and the flavor text on all of these guild gates are just insane,
Very
as
nice.
usual. I especially like the Simic, the 2 Simic guild gates. The art there, those are pretty cool. But okay, so let's
Cool.
go back to the Discord server.
Going back to the Discord.
Where we've got Gutter Bones. This was just recently shown. This was, I think, Loading Ready Run showed this.
Okay.
So, hey, somebody read that.
Well, Gutter Bones. I started reading the wrong one a little while ago. Gutter Bones for a single black. It's a 2/1. All right, take that, Savannah Lions. It's a skeleton warrior, and it's rare. It enters the battlefield tapped. 1 in black, return it from your graveyard to your hand. Activate this ability only during your turn and only if an opponent lost life this turn. So it doesn't have the Rakdos watermark, but
Yeah.
it's kind of sort of got a
It's spectacle adjacent.
Yeah.
spectacle adjacent. But you can run it in any number of black decks. So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good stuff.
It
And
would
it
not
can
surprise
block.
me if this becomes annoying in some sort of aggressive deck.
It's also nice that it can block.
Yeah, that
'Cause
is
some of the creatures like this have a can't block rider.
like. It seems like most of them seem to have that.
Hmm
Okay,
But
cool.
the way to get him back, since it has to be during your turn, it makes it a little clunky for that. It can't be a forever blocker by itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Plus, he's got a great name, Gutter Bones. Nice. All right. Let's see. What's another rare? Oh, we've got precognitive perception.
Okay.
Hey, Brian, what's that do?
Precognitive perception for 3 and 2 blue. It's a rare. It's an instant. Draw 3 cards. That seems pretty good. It's got an addendum, but I mean already that doesn't seem bad. If you cast a spell during your turn, during your main phase, instead scry 3, then draw 3 cards.
So there
That's-
is an instead addendum
Right.
that
Okay,
Mike was talking
yeah,
about
that's-
earlier.
And obviously that's better because you get to pick that, and in some circumstances that can be huge. But of this one, I actually can see, especially for a control deck, just every time draw 3 cards at the end of your turn. So I don't have to tap out, and if
Oh,
you
yeah.
counter it, then
Mhm.
you're gonna. But for a control deck, again, this isn't bad. This is main deckable because if you're up against a deck that is not going to be countering anything, that there's a turn where you will not need to do anything during their turn for whatever reason, you just cast it during your turn.
And also, if you're looking for
So.
something specific, the addendum is going to be
Yes.
better. But if you're just looking
Yeah.
for raw card advantage, then you just end of turn, draw 3 cards seems good.
Right.
Yeah. I really like this card for that bit of flexibility it gives you there.
Mhm.
Sure.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, that's the Seraph.
I see.
Oh, God.
Persistent Spirits, next one.
I did not see... Dirk, what's that do? I haven't seen this card.
Persistent Spirit for 2 and a black. It's a 3/2
No.
rare spirit.
No.
It has Menace
No.
and
Back it up.
Death Touch.
No.
Back it up. Pestilent spirit.
Pestilent Spirit. Sorry.
Not persistent, pestilent.
All right, Pestilent Spirit. So it has Menace, Death Touch. Instant and sorcery spells you control have Death Touch.
Huh.
Jesus.
Not menace.
Huh.
I mean,
Any amount of damage they deal to a creature is enough to destroy it.
don't spells
Huh.
sort of have menace anyway? You can't block spells with just one creature.
So they actually still have to deal damage. Interestingly
Yeah.
enough, so Prey Upon will technically have Death Touch, but it doesn't mean
It doesn't do anything, yeah.
Hmm
Right. But there's a spell in Guilds of Ravnica for 3 and a red that deals 1 damage to all creatures your opponents control, and they can't block this turn. And this just says
Because they're dead.
they really can't block. Is that all creatures or just all creatures you don't control, or is it target players?
I
Creatures?
think it's target
Okay,
players, creatures, yeah.
but so in Rakdos, there you go. Whew.
Yeah, seems good.
Yeah. Okay, and it's a 3/2 with Menace for 3, so nice.
Roger Ivany asked in chat, why doesn't trample work with spells? There might be a way to do it, but the whole section on trample would have to, in the rules, would have to be rewritten. Because right now, trample is only written to have to be about assigning combat damage.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, they could do trample on spells, they just have to call it something else. And we would go, oh, that's trample for spells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would actually be really easy to just make a new keyword for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But trying to unify it with trample and have it be called trample would require a lot of rewriting.
Because you can already, they have spells where you deal damage divided as you choose. If you want to make a keyword that says deal damage to a creature, if this would deal lethal damage, assign any remaining damage to its creature's controller, but they'd have to, do it more eloquently than I just put it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it could be done.
They could call it spillover.
Ooh, nice.
See, that just sounds like sleepover to me, but maybe because I have an 8-year-old that's always like, can I have a sleepover? So,
But I could say like if you're doing a big old fireball, and you hit something with it, but then there's 5 extra damage, being like, and it goes to the controller.
I think let me look at Gather. Was it Liquid Fire where they tried to do that? Let me find Gatherer. Seriously, Gather.
So I can't stop looking at the art on Pestilent Spirit. Blah.
obviously, I think this having a pestilent spirit with something like the red shock that has I'm terrible at this tonight. The isn't mechanic.
Replicate?
What?
Replicate?
What was the question?
No, the newest one.
Jumpstart.
Jumpstart.
Yeah. You can kill 2 creatures, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they tried to do something like.
Thank you, Greg Curran.
They tried to do something like spell trample in the actual game with Liquid Fire. Yes, there's a spell in Unstable with trample, but it only works because it's an unset, and you can look at the card and you understand what it does. You don't actually have to write rules for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Liquid Fire. Okay, here's the. Yeah, the printed text didn't work. This is how they had to rewrite it for the Oracle text. So it costs 4 red. It's an uncommon from Odyssey. As an additional cost to cast this spell, choose a number between 0 and 5. Liquid Fire deals X damage to target creature and 5 minus X damage to that creature's controller, where X is the chosen number.
Wow.
It just ended up being really clunky. And the original rules text they gave it didn't actually work within the rules. It was one of those things where people understood what it was doing, even though it didn't work within the rules, but they had to go back and fix it up for its official Oracle text.
Yeah, Magic is full of cards like that, where you go, oh, I know what that does, and then but trying to make it fit within the rules and work within the rules requires severe nonsense.
Yeah.
Like this, which is hilariously brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there we go.
Yeah,
That's...
I think the main problem with Liquid Fire is that it only actually targeted the creature. It didn't target the creature's controller, so that's what caused problems for it.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right then, let's keep going. So that's Pestilent Spirit. Oh, that's an uncommon. Hang on, uncommon. Okay, the next rare is End Raise Forerunners. What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, this is a dirt card.
So for 5 and 3 green, it's a 7/7 boar.
Is that a giant warthog?
It is.
Yes.
Looks like several.
Was a boar.
It clearly says
hashtag.
Forerunners. So.
Get it straight. All right, so it says vigilance, trample, haste.
Oh god.
When in what?
I said, oh god.
Yeah. When in Raise Forerunner enters the battlefield, other creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain vigilance and trample until end of turn.
Oh, wow.
Oh god.
Yeah.
It's a big green stompy finisher. It reminds me of that behemoth that when it comes in, all your stuff gets like stupid big.
Crater Hoof,
you
yeah.
lose.
Crater Hoof
Yeah,
behemoth.
it feels
Yeah.
like Crater Hoof.
Good lord. And the flavor text is great. Smash this city to pieces, Damirad.
Is Domri Rod gonna be like Bane.
Let's hope so. I hope he's not just a scrawny little punk kid who's like, hey, shut up. No, I want him to come out and break. I can't say that on the show. Break stuff.
The fire rises. Instead of the fire rises. Cool. Big.
You thought the
green.
city was your ally. So that's cool. I like this guy. I had not read this card. This is awesome.
Okay, I have no idea what this card does, but its name is Amplifier.
Oh, yeah.
Fire, and I don't know the first thing about it.
Okay,
but
read
its
it.
name is Amplifier, and I already love it. For 2 and 2 red, it's a 1/1. Oh, this is gonna be a weird red rare, isn't it?
It's actually pretty awesome.
At the beginning of your upkeep, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Until your next turn, Amplifier's base power becomes twice that card's power, and space damage becomes twice that card's toughness. Reveal cards on the bottom of your library in a random order.
All right, so the problem with having Brian read the card for the first time out loud is that he doesn't read it to where people can understand it. So let's do it again. At the beginning of your upkeep, you reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature. All right? Until your next turn, Amplifier becomes a double, twice that creature. So double the power and double the toughness.
I think because I'm like, I'm trailing up because I'm like, holy crap.
And then all the revealed cards go in the bottom in a random order, which is the standard now because of Magic Arena, really.
Yeah.
So it's as Stark put it. I think it was in the Discord server. It's like you, but better and on fire.
If it, and I love the name Amplifier. I don't know why.
Because it's great.
But part of me is like, oh, it has to survive a turn, and I don't like the whole it dies to removal argument. But it's a 1/1 for 4. I realize it's gonna be bigger than that next turn, but this feels one of the first cards in the set that I look at it and I'm like, this is gonna go in the really cool but jank column, isn't it? Where I'm gonna get like 12. Yeah. But it makes me happy at a certain level.
But sometime in the future, Mike is gonna flip up like a dreadnought with it and kill you for 24.
Yeah, probably.
And we're gonna go, oh. And then he's gonna fling it at me, and I'm gonna go, oh.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. All for the low price of starting out its life as 1/1 for 4. Being like, schmah.
I'm gonna get you. Shut up, idiot. And then he's like, idiot, you wait till next turn. And next turn he goes, and Giga Bowser destroys you. And you're like, we probably should have pinged him.
Yeah.
I was about to say, imagine if you pulled an Eldrazi out of that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thanks, Stark.
Luckily, there are no abilities. It's just big. But if you somehow give him like an equipment that gives him flying or trample, then buh.
Then you really just need to be waved at and said, "Hey, dummy."
This is where someone will
Why
point.
Why didn't you take care of that a little bit earlier?
This will be where somebody will look at you really hard and you're like, what? And then they will point very hard at the pinger that you have sitting right there. You're like, oh yeah. My bad. Sorry you died. Anyway, this is how we play Magic, everybody. And then I choked and died. Amplifier. Oh, all right. We've got another...
One more rare.
Rare here. Oh, and I hurt my throat. Someone read that, would you?
The Growth Chamber Guardian, for 1 and a green, is a rare elf crab warrior who is a 2/2. 2/2s for 2. At rare, usually pretty good. It has an adaptability for 2 and a green, adapt 2. So that's nice. You can turn it into a 4/4. Whenever one or more +1/+1 counters are put on Growth Chamber Guardian, you may search your library for a card named Growth Chamber Guardian, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library.
Yep.
That's nifty.
It's pretty good. And that's exactly what we were talking about before, where there's the trigger when you put +1/+1 counters on it that is as close as you're going to get to a, when you activate Amplify trigger. Because obviously, if you can keep paying Amplify whether or not you have +1/+1 counters on it, if you just had something that said whenever you amplify this creature, it would technically trigger whether or not it had +1/+1 on it. So this plus the mutant, the jobless mutant, that seems like a pretty good combination. And to just pull out more, it's fine. Squadron Hawk's fine. It's fine. This is not a Squadron Hawk before anybody's like, "This is not a Squadron." No, it's not. But the ability to just keep building this one up, and then when they kill it, just play another one seems pretty good.
Can't you do the adapt right before it becomes your turn, and then you would essentially go and grab a guardian?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can do the adapt whenever you want.
Well, I'm just saying, you might be tapped out after you do the adapt, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right, I'm going to play this one's turn, comes around, and do adapt, just rinse and repeat.
Yep. Or if you can find some other way to put a +1/+1 counter on it.
Oh, this guy's cool. Excuse me, I had to step away. Nice. I assume that we covered it nice and clearly since
Yes.
there was silence after I sat down. Okay then. Is there anything else? No, we covered everything in the card image gallery, right? Like literally everything.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Right.
Okay, so just a couple more cards left. Why not go ahead and knock them out?
Sounds
We've
good.
got the Bolrac Clan Crusher. Bolrac Clan Crusher. Okay. I haven't looked at any of these. For 3, a red and a green, is a 4/4 uncommon ogre warrior. Ah! Tap and remove a +1/+1 counter from a creature you control. Aha! Bolrac Clan Crusher deals 2 damage to any target. Oh, devilish laugh. Look, it's ways to remove +1/+1 counters.
So from his own guild, you've got the Riot, and then obviously because it shares a color with Simic, you can amplify and make your guy bigger and smash him, and then go ahead and remove that counter to use this, and then next turn amplify again, just over and over again.
That's neat. And this works really well in limited, just like, for instance, Surveil and Jumpstart did in guilds. I'm sorry. Mike just typed in the Discord chat the funniest reason I've ever seen for why he's stepping away from the show. He just typed, BRB, feet are cold, need socks. For some reason, because it was Mike, that struck me as really funny. Clearly it's just me, though, because no one else is laughing.
I mean, I'm there with you.
Anyway. So yeah, okay. Clan Crusher, Bolrac Clan Crusher, he's cool.
I like it.
Nerdso said you are now thinking about Mike's socks.
It's the little things in life.
It really is. Okay. So that's that. Here's... Good lord, this is huge. Why is this one so huge? Alright. So, hey, somebody tell us about Wilderness Reclamation.
He's got his socks. Maybe he can tell us about him.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, could you tell us about this?
Sure. Let me get back to it here.
Good lord, it's massive. Minus.
Wilderness
There we go.
Reclamation. So this is pretty neat. For 3 and a green, that's an uncommon enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, untap all lands you control. It's a very useful effect.
Mm-hmm.
It seems somewhat busted.
I mean, it's not Seedborn Muse level.
Yeah, that's why it's only somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But okay. That's pretty cool. It's also huge. I don't know why this particular image is so giant, but it is. Like, I had to drop it all the way to 80% to get it that size. Jeez. Okay. So, next. And this one's tiny.
The Pointless Pontiff. I'm sorry, the Pitiless Pontiff. Sorry, that's a different one. This is the Pitiless Pontiff. For a white and a black, it's a 2/2 vampire cleric. If your priest has fangs, you might want to consider another church. I'm just saying, not trying to be racist, but you know, something to think about.
Well, it sure sounds like it, Brian.
Alright. For pay a generic mana and sacrifice another creature. Pitiless Pontiff gains Death Touch and Indestructible until end of turn.
Oh, it's another one of those aristocrat type things.
Yeah. Oh, this one you have to pay mana for, so...
Thank goodness.
Pay in gold. Pay in blood. Pay with the servitude of your spirit kin. But pay must. Badass.
Yeah. She's pretty cool. Also, shout out to the Orzhov for having female clerics, even though they're vampires.
Awfully progressive for my taste.
A little too progressive for Brian's taste. All right. So that's cool. Then we've... Oh, crap.
What?
This card is in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Well, isn't there also a translation?
Not in the art that I've got. I mean, I know there is one, but I don't know...
Well, there is in the post here in the Discord.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I must have clicked it immediately on the picture. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
So what is this, then?
This is... Go ahead, Mike. I just talked about...
The Bellow of the Carnarium. For 1 black, it's a sorcery. All creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn. So it's an infest variant. These are always nifty. So this is where I'm just going to have to trust that it's being translated properly, because this is an interesting line of text. Exile all creature cards from all graveyards that were put there this turn. If a creature would die this turn, exile it instead.
Exile all creature cards from all graveyards that were put there if a creature would die. Isn't that redundant? Oh, well.
No. It goes back.
Because it goes back to the start of the turn.
It goes back and exiled everything that had already died this turn. That's very interesting.
Okay, well, there is a tweet in reply a little further down that says, mild mistranslation, it only exiles creature cards put into graveyards from the battlefield this turn. So it won't hit things discarded or surveilled or whatever.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it does see from the
in
battlefield.
the actual Spanish, yeah. El campo de batalla.
See.
Batalla. I can't. That's blurry. Batalla. Okay.
That is blurry. Okay, cool. Yeah, and it is a Conjuro, yes. Damn right it is. Okay, then. So that's neat. All right, what else we got? Oh, we've got a split card. That's so big it doesn't fit on screen.
Oh. I did read this card earlier, and someone also gave a translation of the flavor text, and I remember just looking at it. So the flavor text, if you're bleeding from your ears, it's a party. If you're bleeding from your eyes, it's a Recto's party.
Jesus.
And see, that wouldn't even have to. Somebody could just tell me, "Yeah, we just made that up. That's not actually the flavor text." I'd be okay with that because that's pretty metal. So, the split card, first half of it is Depose, which this is an interesting effect for Depose, but for 1 and a white-blue hybrid, it's an instant tap target creature, draw a card, and then the other half is Deploy. For 2, a white and a blue, it's an instant, create 2 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature tokens with flying. Then you gain 1 life for each creature you control.
Wait a minute, deploy is an instant?
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah. Seems good.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
It's
you
interesting
is this
because-
ones where you can only do one of the
Correct.
splits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. None of the split cards that we've seen in this set have fuse, so you have to pick one.
But, I mean, these are 2 solid choices. I mean, Depose you may not use all that often unless it's just going to save your life. But the fact that you can always simply cycle it essentially to draw a card, you could end up playing that side quite a bit. You don't always necessarily need to make 2 dorky little guys and gain some life. If you're ahead, then Depose is going to be better because remove a blocker or something and, card advantage. So I like both halves of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, seems good. All right, we have 2 more, it looks like.
Okay.
So we've got High Alert, which is another translation, so hopefully this will be close. But High Alert, for 1, a white and a blue, is an uncommon enchantment. Each creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Creatures you control... Let me try that again. Creatures you control can attack as though they didn't have Defender. Ooh.
Ha! Ha!
And then for 2, a white and a blue, untap target creature.
Cool.
Yeah, that's definitely high alert.
And it feels very flavorful. So, yeah, I like it.
Yeah, so time will tell if that's accurate. I mean, obviously the translation isn't completely accurate because it says creatures you control can attack as though it didn't have Defender. So...
Just 1 creature you control.
Yeah.
Choose wisely.
So then this last one, hey Dirk,
Mm-hmm.
tell us about the Basilica Bellhaunt.
So the Basilica Bellhaunt, for 2 white, 2 black, it's a 3/4 spirit. When Basilica Bellhaunt enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card and you gain 3 life.
Whew. Again with the double mana cost cycle being
good.
sick.
Yeah.
That's good.
Being some of the best stuff you can do in those colors.
And the flavor text says you can hear their tolling only when your debt is due.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. Talk about an alarm you really want to snooze.
Sitting there at dinner and be like, for God's sake, would they quit ringing the bells? And whoever you're eating with goes, what bells? You're like, oh crap.
I'll be back later. Maybe. So each opponent discards a card. Each opponent. Cool. I like it.
Yeah, that's going to be brutal in Two-Headed Giant. Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Very nice. Very nice.
Very nice.
So, and a thank you again to Violet Moon and
Oh, yeah.
for most of those, throwing all of those up in the chat for us, or at the
nice.
Discord server for us, and also Stark for finding the Basilica Bellhaunt. we appreciate it. So we didn't have to go to like Mythic Spoiler and play, you know, is this real bingo. So yeah,
Nice.
lots of good stuff.
Lots of good stuff.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, it's looking neat. Pre-release is the weekend of the 18th, 19th, 20th, I think.
Huh.
So it'll be, I mean, today's the 3rd. This year's already flying by. I know it seems silly to say that on the 3rd, but I just feel like I'm turning around and I'm like, wait, what? So.
Wait a minute. That literally is 2 weeks from now.
Yep.
What the heck?
So we'll have previews this week, previews next week, and then the week off, like they've been doing.
Yeah, and then that Friday we'll
Yeah.
Yeah, and that lines up with the. I'm surprised it's not listed here on the tournaments page here on the main the mothership. Oh, look at this. Crap. I
guess those people are still on vacation.
I guess. But you'll notice this shows Magic Fest Oakland on January 4th, and then Magic Fest Prague on January 11th, and then Magic Fest New Jersey on the 25th. So there's that hole in the middle where the pre-release will be. But I'm surprised it doesn't show the pre-release on here. That's weird. I guess this is only for events that will be televised or whatever. Televised? That's not the word I want. Good lord. Shut up, Chewy.
This will be televised.
And OKFS just said I would have been here sooner, but my wheel fell off of my car while I was driving home from work. Man, I hate it when that happens.
Ooh.
Buh. All right. Well, thank goodness that you survived. So, gentlemen, that's it for the previews thus far. How you guys doing? Should we wrap it up? We should wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So, final thoughts. Somebody.
All right. Real quick for some of my final thoughts. 2 quick things. First of all, I mentioned this before the show for those that were around, but Kingdom Hearts collaboration in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius is awesome. Yes, I had some amazing luck. Hope everybody's doing well. I had a fantastic Christmas and New Year's and birthday, so life is good all around. And then for my second part of my final thought, things I have found for Tessa. I started a list. Blood Artist feels very obvious. Some of these are very obvious. Vicious Shadows and Stalking Vengeance make me go, buh. But let's not forget Poison Tipped Archer, which is in Standard, and Massacre Worm.
Ooh.
Because, buh. Do you want a really big creature? How about Kresh the Bloodbraided? Seems pretty good. If you want to get extra pings out, Goblin Sharpshooter says hi. And finally, and I had to read this twice to make sure I was getting it right, Gutter Grime. Do you even remember what Gutter Grime does? Probably not. I closed the window.
You're going to have to tell me.
I'm pulling it up just to make sure. All right. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, put a slime counter on Gutter Grime. Then create a green ooze creature token with this creature's power and toughness are each equal to the number of slime counters on Gutter Grime. Tessa says, put 2 counters and get 2 oozes.
Actually, no. Tessa says, put a counter, get a ooze. Put another counter, get another ooze. That is slightly bigger.
Yeah, well, they're all.
Ooh.
They're always tracking the number of counters on Gutter Grime.
Yes.
They're not
2
fixed.
oozes, 2
Oh,
counters.
they're not fixed.
Yeah.
Oh!
So there you go. there's more. There's plenty more, but that's enough to get you going. I love stuff. I love stuff
Mechathune. Wait, that's not the right game.
I love stuff that encourages you to think beyond the set. That encourages you to, because since I've been playing for too long now, I mean a long time now, I love it when there's stuff that synergizes within a set, but also stuff that makes me go, oh wow, this would be amazing with this card from 15 years ago that I've been just waiting for. So I love that. So those are my final thoughts, and not to be that guy, but I'm tired and I've got some stuff to do. So I'm going to bid you guys adieu. Everybody's doing all right, right? Everybody had a good holiday and all that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great. Nobody's on fire?
I don't think
Yet?
so. I haven't heard those
Okay.
sirens since before the show, so probably not.
Nice. Mike, stay away from demons.
All right.
All right. I'll talk to you guys later.
Might be. Zerk?
Aside from what I had mentioned before about that I'm not sure how I feel about this semester. I'm feeling that this is going to be a rough one. I have much bigger classes this semester than I've had the past two. And I'm getting back into a really big one. There's a bunch of people that I have already known were going to be. They've had issues the past year, and my understanding is that it has not gotten better. And I've got a few returners that I'm not thrilled about in several of my classes. So we'll just see how things go. Christmas was pretty good though. I
Yay.
enjoyed getting to spend time with the boys. And now I'm being the mean daddy and making them do homework.
You're the worst.
Well, I made them do schoolwork over the break. Like I let them have, like, yay, I'll give you guys a week. All right, Christmas is over. I need you guys to be doing homework. So I made them do things like ABC Mouse and Prodigy and Raz Kids. These are a bunch of like app programs that do educational stuff, like school related stuff. And so I made them do all that stuff over the break so that way when they went back, they weren't going, how do I read again? What is math?
So
yeah. There's a couple of things I'm implementing this year, like because they both need to work on their handwriting. I'm making them do journals, and so that they know it's fair. I'm doing journals with them, and so we started doing that so that way they can work on their handwriting. So, and then Penny, if she can just leave them alone, that would make my life a lot easier. It was like, I want you guys to do this. And then all of a sudden there is an ambulance that rolls through who bumps into them and is like, daddy, 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 daddy. And I'm just going, all I want to do is just work with these two so that way I can do this. I don't need the ambulance and, the fire drill, or the loudspeaker going off beside me distracting them, but so it is having more than one kid. But with that being said, I'm also going to bounce and go to bed so that way I can hopefully function tomorrow at school. So with that, I bid you all a farewell.
have a good night, Zerk.
Night.
Good night.
Well, Mike?
All right. Let's see. Like the other said, Christmas was nice. It was nice to get to spend time with the family and take a break from normal stuff. Let's see. I don't have any stories about kids or anything. At least none that belong to me. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have much extra to share this time. Nothing's coming to mind.
All right then. You're the hero we deserve, Mike.
All right, that's good. Glad I could help.
In that case, I guess I will do the wrapping up for me then. So, hi. Happy New Year, everybody. I hope... Oh, I said all that at the beginning. Never mind. Ha! I don't care how your holidays were a second time. But I hope, seriously though, everyone's 2019 is starting off better than mine, where I woke up on New Year's Eve with a toothache, and it is still here. So that sucks. But I'll be working on that. Oh, crap. Dentist offices are closed on Friday, aren't they?
I don't know. I don't think that's a rule.
I think a lot of them are, though. Dentist's office Friday. Yeah, lots of them are closed on Fridays, but it looks like, okay, a bunch of them near me are still open. Good. Okay, good, because I really need to get some, like, quotes or something from a few places. Because I don't know if I can wait till, like, next Tuesday to do this. Know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or at least to get some information about it, at the very least, you know?
Right.
But anyway, that's my next great task is dealing with this. But on the content creation side, hey, look, the mana pool is up and running again. Monday Night Magic is still up in the air because for those of you that don't know, over the holiday, MTGCast was obliterated accidentally. Now, granted, it's been neglected for a good year or so.
Yeah.
Quiet Speculation was good enough to take it over and revamp it and keep it running, but then they completely stopped looking at it at all, which is why there haven't been any new shows on the site in like a year, probably more. And nobody has done any backups or anything, so when there was some sort of horrible catastrophic failure, the entire site is gone. Just the website. All of the podcast files are safe. They're elsewhere. So the podcast files themselves are safe, but everything about MTGCast, the website, is just gone. So Quiet Spec and a few other people are working on a fix for that as of right now. So, yeah. Yeah. It's, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, like I said, MTGCast is gone, so Monday Night Magic is kind of up in the air at the moment as to how we're going to go about doing it, because I don't have, like, I'd have to make a new hosting thing, like a new Libsyn account for Monday Night Magic, because I don't have room for it on the Manipool account, and I don't want Manipool listeners to suddenly get saddled with Monday Night Magic episodes they don't want, you know, so I'd have to make a new account, and it would just be a large pain at the moment if they can't get something figured out. And honestly, without MTGCast in some form, I don't even know if I'd want to keep Monday Night Magic going in its current form. So I don't know. Where, like I said, at the moment it's all up in the air to see what they come up with. So that's a mess, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that when he posted it on Facebook, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, it's not like you guys ever cared before, so whatever.
Yeah, and he's like, and yeah, Kelly was like, I mean, it wasn't our fault, and I'm like, technically it is your fault because you guys haven't touched it in like a year. But but when I pointed that out, I was asked to kindly leave the group Facebook chat because I wasn't helping.
Okay.
So like they took it over, revamped. I'm gonna rant for a second. They took it over, they revamped it, they gave it a new look that sucks. They gave it a new structure which sucks, and they kept me on because somebody had to do the day-to-day crap, and I volunteered for it. But then after some amount of time of it not making any money, everybody that works there who was assigned to it just stopped and stopped responding to me when there was a problem. Hey, could somebody approve these new accounts? And then no response, nothing. And then when it crashes, the caretakers of it go, it wasn't our fault. You know what? I can't say that on the show. Screw you. It was your fault that this thing that's been running for 12 freaking years because everyone at your workplace just decided, not my problem, and it died. Yes, it is totally your fault. So screw you, Quiet Speculation. Screw you right in your ass. Anyway.
If it's your responsibility and you don't lift a damn finger to do anything and you don't touch it at all, don't do a single thing, yes, it's completely your fault when it gets all screwed up and, falls over and catches on fire.
Yeah, now the reason they said it's not their fault is because 18 months ago they brought in somebody from outside who helped them do something. And apparently that person didn't follow like best practices or do it in any way that makes any sense. But for some reason...
It's your fault for not checking up on that guy's work.
Exactly, yeah. So when Quiet Speculation starts with the whole, we're really sorry, just don't buy it. They're not sorry. They're happy to be rid of it because it's just a massive money sink. So hopefully, whenever someone takes it over or creates a new thing that's just like it, hopefully they will treat it better than Quiet Spec ever did.
Yeah. You're right. They're probably glad to be able to wash their hands of it.
Oh, I'm sure they are, but they have to keep up the public face of, oh, well, it's a big tragedy and win it. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't want to go so far as to say that someone pulled the plug on purpose. I don't think that's the case.
No.
Like they're assholes, but they're not evil, Yeah. But, yeah. As far as I'm concerned, everyone at Quiet Speculation can eat a dick. Let's just be real. But anyway. So that's my little rant. So back to happier things. Hey, on the content creation side of things, I'm doing pretty good. For those who saw the video that went live on Christmas Day on youtube.com/themanapool, there was a mystery package that was sent to me by people in the Manapool Discord server. They pooled their money and sent me a thing, and it ended up being a Super Nintendo Classic. And then Cap from the Lair of Lore sent me his Elgato that has an HDMI input because he upgraded. So I am able to stream and record the SNES Classic, which is freaking sick. And I've done so twice now. And put some videos up from it. I've got... the first thing I did was play Super Punch-Out and destroy Super Punch-Out. That turned into 2 YouTube videos. So if you want to see how Super Punch-Out went, check that... Hiccup. Check that out. And I played some... Oh, Lord. Let's see. That's the wrong box. Where is this SNES Classic box? Damn it. There it is. I played some... let's see. Some Contra 3 and some Kirby Superstar for the first time ever. And some Donkey Kong Country and some Super Castlevania 4 and some Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I hate that game. And F-Zero. Love that game. And Star Fox. Hate that game. Star Fox didn't get good until Star Fox 64. Don't at me. I played some Super Mario World. And I lightly touched Kirby's Dream Course for the first time. That's a weird-ass game that's going to take some getting used to, but I think I might like it. And that's not even everything. There's still so much good stuff that I haven't touched. Final Fantasy 3, Mario RPG, Link to the Past, Super Metroid, Mario Kart. Oh my god. Earthbound. Mega Man X, Secret of Mana. Okay, that might be everything. Oh yeah, and Star Fox 2, but whatever. Really don't care about that. So yeah, there's another video that went up that's Street Fighter 2, because it's got Street Fighter 2 Turbo on it, and I couldn't do special moves for some reason. And the reason for that is really funny, and I highly recommend you watch that video. It's called, in all caps, "Why Can't I Do Special Moves?" I was like, I don't remember the SNES controller being this bad, because this is the controller I used to play these games back in the day. Well, it turns out I'm a different flavor of idiot. So it was really funny. But anyway. So that's what's going on YouTube. Also, the next two videos to go up are going to be Hand of Fate from the Roguelikes for Charity 2018 stream. I looked over the next few games that I played, and it wasn't worth turning those into YouTube videos. But Hand of Fate totally is. And that's a game I will be streaming and turning into YouTube videos very soon, because it's awesome. Get this, Mike. It's roguelike. So there you have runs.
Okay.
And it's deck building. As you go through runs, you unlock new cards, and then you get to customize your equipment deck and your encounter deck. And there's a wild card deck that was apparently DLC that you can customize, like, the game. So, like, you can have, I don't know, like, you get more gold but you do less damage or stuff like that. And there's like a billion of those. I flipped through the first like 5 or 10 and went, holy crap, and stopped. But let me just play on the normal setting for now, because this is the first time I played it. And it's sort of like FTL in that every move you make costs you 1 food. In FTL, every jump is fuel, you know. And you're trying to get to like the end of it. The dealer. The dealer is the real hero here. He's the guy who talks to you, and he's got a very smooth voice, and he looks kind of like the shopkeeper from Resident Evil 4, so I don't trust him. Like, I expect him to be like, "Hello, stranger." I'd be like, you know, but
I'll buy it at a high price.
And then I'll unload a magnum into his face. Not enough cash, stranger. But anyway,
I accidentally shot the shopkeeper one time, and I felt so dumb. I was just looking at him I was like, "Hey, who's that across the room?" And I pulled out the sniper rifle and was like, "Oh, it's a shopkeeper," and I accidentally hit fire. I was like, "Bam!" And he falls to the ground. I'm like, "Uh-oh." So I leave the room, and I go back in.
Yeah, no.
Still gone, and I'm like, bah.
Did you reload, or did you just deal with it?
At the time, I think I just dealt with it.
Oh, that's terrible. But so yeah, the dealer lays out cards, and you like walk among them, and you run into encounters, and you know, sometimes there's like a choice. It's like, okay, do you climb down and get the sword, or do you just ignore it? And then it'll show you, like, he'll show you 4 cards, and 3 of them are success and 1 of them is failure. And then he shuffles them and you pick one. So there's choices, or you can respond to people. It's like, hey, what can I do for you? And you're like, oh, I'll give you this, or I'll give you that, and they'll give you something in return. And it's just fun for all of that. But then sometimes you have combat, and it's like not as smooth, but it's Arkham style combat, like Arkham City, you know, Batman, where you run around and actually wham people with your whatever weapon and shield and whatnot you have equipped. And it's so much fun. So yeah, I'm very excited to stream that some more and get more YouTube videos out of it, because it's perfect for YouTube. So yay. Very excited. But 2 of those will go up, one tomorrow and one the next day. Yay. And then over on Twitch, I've been streaming obviously the Super NES Classic, but also last night I streamed some of the story mode from Mortal Kombat 9, which is the one from 2011, you know, the big reboot of the Mortal Kombat franchise that took it back to a 2D fighter, because people realized the 3D fighter craze wasn't for every franchise. And it's really good. Like, the story mode is like between 4 and 8 hours, depending on various things. So it's a massive story mode with cutscenes and whatnot. So if the recording isn't too bad, I'm going to start throwing those up on YouTube. Sort of like I did for Injustice back in the day. Because it's really good, and it starts like with Mortal Kombat 1, and you just move forward in time. So yay. Very excited about that. And also I did some Hearthstone and some Overwatch even after Christmas. So yay. That's what's going on over on twitch.tv/themanapool, as well as the normal podcast stream, of course. So yay. So what else is there? I guess that's it for content. Which means now is the time where I go, hey, if you want to help support what I do with this ridiculous amount of content creation, there are many ways to do it. And now that it's 2019, let me just run through all of those. There's spread the word. Just tell people. Put it on Reddit or put it on other thing. I don't know. Just spread the word is the most basic and easiest way to help out. If there's a thing that we do that you like, if you liked our thing with the it's just arms. It's, what kind of arms? Forearms. See, that's funny. Then spread the word. That's the best way to help. If you want to help more directly, then you can subscribe here on Twitch. If you've got Twitch Prime, you get 1 free subscription token every month. You have to manually re-up that, but it's there. And that helps a lot because that's a direct support. And if you want, it's only $5 a month if you don't have Twitch Prime, and that auto renews. So it's a fire and forget sort of thing. So that's awesome. And of course, the most direct way is on Patreon, where you can become a lifeguard at the Mana Pool. Ow, that was my elbow. At least it wasn't my tooth. So the rare lifeguards, no, the uncommon lifeguards on the Mana Pool get a silver name in the Mana Pool official Discord server, which you should totally join, whether you're a patron or not. Seriously, go join it. We have a lot of channels with a lot of conversations. As you heard, it's very easy to maneuver because we taught Brian how to find the proper channel. But the uncommon lifeguards get the silver name in the Discord server and get access to Mana Pool episodes and YouTube videos early, like those 2 Hand of Fate videos that are going up tomorrow and the next day. The lifeguards already have those. Boom, check it out. The rare lifeguards get access to the early stuff and the odds and ends, which is the behind the scenes stuff recorded before and after both Monday Night Magic and the Mana Pool. That's uncensored and unfiltered and generally unsafe for consumption. I have to censor this one because Chelsea was throwing out information that shouldn't necessarily be public. So, but I edited for like personal information, and that's about it. If you are interested at all in the odds and ends, then I actually made the final odds and ends of Monday Night Magic in 2018, which was episode 6, I think 35. I made that one public because after I got done with it, it was just me and Bill, because that was while Clues was on a cruise. But it was like an hour and a half long, and we started with technical difficulties, which is so emblematic of us, you know? And then we did like preparing for the show, and then after the show, it was just this random hodgepodge of pop culture nonsense. Just complete nonsense. Like we were talking about like old Genesis games and like Sega systems and Ralph Breaks the Internet and like why I don't like the Hearthstone's Rumble Run, and then Easter eggs in old Final Fantasy games. And then I told a story from my life about how I left the grocery store I used to work at, Bilo. So so yeah, it's like it was a good cross section of what the odds and ends are in general. So it's up for everybody. So if you go to patreon.com/themanapool and you find the odds and ends tag. One well, as of right now, the last one, but by the time you're listening to this, there'll be at least one more that's already up there. But one of those will be available for you to see whether you're a patron or not. So, like, warning, it's very sweary, and it's a whole lot of nonsense. So, but if you're at all interested in what the odds and ends are, that one's public for everyone to listen to. So give it a shot. That's my a Christmas present / a temptation. Anyway, and of course, that's for the rare lifeguards. They also get a gold name in the Discord server. And finally, the mythic lifeguards get the mythic orange name in the Discord server. And they get the odds and ends, they get the early stuff, and they get the sponsorship shout out on both shows and on the end screen for all of the YouTube videos that month. So, I would like to thank our mythic lifeguards, Kim Ho, Andrew Hunt, Al, Paul David, Lane's Delicious, Team You Hellas Haru, Connor Kennedy, John Morris, Alex Gonzalez, Jeff Spencer, Stuart Slaw, PJ McMullen, Sophia Brattain, Casey, Fayen Says, Danny Liao, Jason Doan, Cody Buckowing, Jake Jansons, Jason Kaus, Gothic Man, Brian DeLucci, Stark Maximum, Keith Moody, John Parker, Aleph Cat, new name, hey buddy, welcome. Thank you very much. Dan Holm, Bartle, Mike Millerburn, and as always, the Beast Father, Aaron Goodwine. Thank you all so very much for your support. I quite literally could not do it without you, and without all of you lifeguards out there, no matter what level you're at. I appreciate you very much. Whew. Holy crap, how does Brian do this all the time? Like, I'm tired and lightheaded now.
Practice.
Ah, there we go.
I mean, that's part of his job every day.
Dirk's name is lighting up when I talk because I have it set up, the Twitch scene, to just look at the names the way they are on the screen. So when people leave, we get condensed down. And so I'm in Dirk's spot, and I think Mike is in Brian's spot.
I don't know. I can't see it.
So it looks like Mike and Dirk and Brian are talking, but it's really me and Mike. But anyway, all right. So I want to thank you all so very much for joining us here on the first Mana Pool of 2019, first of many. Thank you all so very much for listening or watching or whatever. And go play some Magic.